once again. Sorry so much for the technical difficulties. We are under control right now.
Get that last pearl from Needle Rock, and then he'll be able to head in there.
And that is where he's heading there. Still pretty close. At this point, it's looking like Neefe does have a bit of a lead. But now we are kind of thinking, though, that, or not so much that we're thinking it, but at this point, it really is ultimately going to depend on where that last Master Sword upgrade is at. Neefe is still missing 2. The one on Windfall in the transparent chest. And the third Master Sword, we do not know where it's at. Which that would be the one that both of our run. My guess at this point. Mirror Maze right chest. That'd be pretty annoying. That's pretty. I'm gonna guess a meme, and Tuba Man's gonna get this one. It's gonna be very funny for him, but I don't know if anybody else will get it. But I'm gonna guess the Tingle chest in Earth Temple. That's my prediction. And yes, the command melody, the tablet was where the light arrows. And yeah, I believe that's where we sit for us. No mode. We just need to find out where that last Master Sword is, and it could be. Mention it could be anywhere. Except for there's one spot it can't be. And 100 cool points to anybody chat that knows where that is. That's right, it can't be in the light arrow chest. It is not possible. The game will not allow it. Jim about to pick up his leaf here. Probably going to be some relief for him. It'd be pretty funny if it couldn't be there. That would be, I believe that would be ironic, right? It's like textbook irony. Yeah, nothing we are gonna need is point. So, still potential for a high roll seed if the Master Sword is down there, but that's really it. This looks like it could be another fast one for. Did Neef skip the hop across boxes check? Does anybody know?
No, he did that one.
He did it? Okay.
Yeah, I don't recall what was in that test, but I know he did it.
Gotcha. Yeah, that's a good point, Iva. Angular could be a pretty good play right here, since he has the mirror shield now. Well, you know, I never even thought about sword slashing there. But it looks like he's going to go get his next Master Sword upgrade. Yeah, let's not forget that Jim has already finished Forsaken Fortress. So. It may look like he is a bit behind, but Neef still definitely has to do that. And depending on the if our Master Sword is in the Deluxe Picto Box check, that could be good for making this end up being a close race. That's also true. Cafe Bar Postman would be very simple because you would need the delivery bag for that one. Any particular? I'm wondering if he specifically said the left kidney though, because his left kidney has some kind of problem, and he doesn't want, and he doesn't mind losing it. He might be kind of sandbagging on us a little bit, wanting to keep that right kidney. I mean, I can't say for certain, but just purely speculative. But we could get to see something really fun. The Earth Temple Go mode, that is definitely possible. That could definitely be a lot of fun. It's one of the coolest Go modes, I think, at least. Definitely not one of the fastest, but one of the coolest. I am partial, personally, to the Forbidden Woods Go mode because it's
very fast.
It's brilliant. Stores chest, walks through boss door. That's it. Earth Temple Go mode is really fun. I think Wind Temple is also pretty fun, but it's kind of ruined by the fact you have to search for a small key. Yeah, we are looking for more trackers, kind of like I like to say. A lot of our trackers, because we use storage so much, so we always looking for more of those guys, if anybody's interested. Jim about to get the light arrows, so we're looking at him about an hour 15 for his light arrows, which is still pretty fast, I think, but that is just me. Obviously, Neef has had them for a little while. If storage was actually banned, I would say that most of them would be 2.5 hours. I don't think I could finish less than 3 hours without storage.
I don't know. Storage is kind of important for all the fast stuff, so.
Right, and I guess it depends on. Like there are seeds that are just fast no matter what, and storage speeds it up a little bit, but sometimes everything's just in the overworld. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's true.
But sometimes everything is not in the overworld, and it's horrible unless you know how to skip certain things in certain dungeons. But with all the storage strats, you can kind of cut out a lot of that by being able to check things without required items. So it definitely helps to speed things up a bit. Where was command melody? That's a great question. I feel like it was. I'm not sure. I think we got it pretty early.
I don't remember where it was.
With any just to let everybody know, it looks like Jim has it tracker. I don't know how he knows how to line that up like that. That's crazy. That blows my mind seeing that. It's like, what? But yeah, that sounds right. It wasn't. We have Neefe going to Forsaken right now, so he is going to. This will kind of be the part where we see how this evens back out, how they catch back up. So if he can full clear Forsaken faster than Jim finishes Tower of the Gods, it would appear that he has a little bit of an advantage. So we're going to see that pretty much right now.
So Neefe will be doing Phantom Ganon.
Unless he's going to use the strat we saw the other day where he just lets him chase him up to the...
I suppose.
Nope, he's just going to fight him. Yeah, but if you... that's always really funny to see, because I've seen it now where you just... you accidentally trigger the cutscene, so you just sort of like, well, you know, I'll just run up there and let him chase me. Because you actually don't have to defeat him once you trigger the cutscene. You could just, with the chest storage, you could just run up there and open the door. No, light arrows will not do anything Phantom at this stage. Only works at the very end of the game in Phantom Ganon's special room. Deluxe Picto box for Jim, even though we knew he was going to get that the whole time. Yeah, swordless runs. I recommend everybody do a swordless run, and make sure you put Savage Labyrinth Magic. That's the best way to really test yourself in this game. Neefe does not have the Deluxe Picto box yet, but I believe he's only a check or so away. It's one of these.
Yeah, he'll be getting it in FF here.
Yeah, depending on what order he decides he wants to go in. Which I believe it's this check, right? The Oak Boblin one. The chest guarded by...
It's possible. I don't recall which chest exactly.
Yeah, there it is. Yeah, they got their Picto boxes actually reversed from each other. We're gonna see I guess the big decider here for Neefe is just gonna be how much much does Helmrock want to troll him today?
Deluxe Picto only opens one. It's taking the picture of Menenko.
Yes, a very, very nice check. You get to take a picture of somebody and then give it to them. And now it looks like we're going to see Neefe head up to the top there. As Jim's going to get his last statue over and go feed his boss. So, yeah, this is pretty much the time when we're going to see about how close these runners are, depending on depending on execution here in this stage. Ooh, unfortunate bat hit for Jim there, and that could also be a pretty bad roll if that's where the last Master Sword is. Those of you that don't know, when we mail Note to Mom, it opens up a check for us. One right away after the first day-night cycle, and the next one after we kill the boss in Earth, or defeat the boss in Earth Temple. We aren't murderers; we don't kill anything. And then we get another mail. So there's that. Yeah, nobody's gone to Cabana yet, which we could see. I would imagine, if I'm, just spitballing here, I would imagine Jim would probably go there after finishing up here in Tower of the Gods, because it's one space over. So that is something we could potentially see here very shortly.
Yeah, I think both players will definitely check Overworld before going into the last dungeon.
Yeah, it makes a lot of sense here. So we'll see I don't remember exactly what Overworld checks we have left. I know there's Angular. We haven't seen Outset Fairy yet, I believe.
Nope, we haven't.
So that one is there. And Cabana, like we just mentioned before. Neefe hasn't done Diamond Step yet. That is important to remember. So that is something that if the Master Sword is in Earth Temple, that could work out very well for Gymnast, because obviously Neefe would have to go, or one would imagine Neefe would want to go there before going into Earth Temple, although obviously he could always not. It is the interesting thing with random. Yeah, anything, basically, yeah, Vanilla Master Sword would help Jim a little bit here. Obviously, Execution's going to play a big part because they're both so close. But also, if it was in Earth Temple, I would say that would help, because I'm imagining Neefe is not going to check everything, leave Diamond Step unchecked, and then go into Earth Temple. That seems unlikely. Obviously, I'm not, he may know something that I don't. That would be a little... Because imagine, leaving one or two checks in the overworld and not being able to go mode Earth Temple. That would feel a little silly. It would take just another minute or so to go check quick, and you could save several minutes go moding Earth Temple. So it makes sense to pull clear the overworld, like you said, for this situation. Maybe if you had maybe if you were missing like 2 swords or a couple swords and a bow, maybe if you're missing a couple items, then maybe you check the dungeon first, because it has more likelihood of having more items. But it mostly depends on what you're more comfortable with. And we're both of us finishing up our bosses, both of our runners finishing up pretty much at the same time there. So this race is very close.
That it is.
Yeah, that was a really good Goten fight. looks like we're going to be checking the outside neefe side. And kind of like we mentioned before, Jim has to go back for the hop across boxes, unfortunately. It looked like he was hoping that there was maybe like a dungeon map or compass in there so he could potentially skip it. Did forget about that.
It shouldn't take him too long to get that check, though, given that he has light arrows.
Yeah, absolutely. He'll just be able to shoot the torches there.
Yep.
And we're going to see there. So yeah, it's looking like if this fairy has the Master Sword, then it looks obviously things look really good for Neefe. He is in Goma, and he'd be ready to go and finish up. If not, then we are all still on the hunt.
Neefe trying to get storage here to store the cutscene of the bomb explosion.
And a really cool strat if you can get it, although could potentially. Oh, there. That's what was there, Melon. It's a good thing Jim went back.
What was it?
The mirror shield.
Oh, right.
Yeah, especially if our Master Sword isn't angular, as you guys are predicting there. But yeah, you can skip the Song Stone, as I think Two was trying to say in chat. You don't need Earth God's Lyric. It is more of a convenience item. And Outset Fairy has just a pretty necklace for us. Very nice, very fashionable, but we don't need it. Not required.
So Jim not doing Cabana right away after Tower.
Interesting. I'm wondering. Oh, he's going for. Yeah. We all
Gonna-
saw it. He's got these last two decks here. Looks like. Oh, that's the other thing. Neefe does. He's going to get his delivery bag. He'll probably go and do all those delivery bag checks. One of them does include Zunari. That is a pretty long check.
Menengo having a bottle.
Well, that gets us one bottle closer.
And there's that delivery bag for Neefe.
So we are getting right to the end here. This is beginning to look like the way that Neefe is going through these overworld checks is going to give Jim a bit of an advantage again here. He has already done a lot of these mail checks. But we'll see. Again, it's all really going to depend on where and when this last Master Sword is going to pop its head up. And for those of you that don't know, the 201 rupee mail is not required for this one. That's why our runners have been skipping it. It just wastes time reading the letter and, waiting for, paying for it with rupees.
So Neefe is heading to Diamond Step now. He's gonna get Earth God's Lyric and another bottle.
Good call there, Tuba. That seemed to be a pretty good play. And our cafe postman having, of course, nothing for it. Thank you, cafe postman. So now let's see where Gymnast is going to go. What's the decision going to be? Because the run could ride on this next warp. He's also going to go check the Outset Fairy. So unfortunately, both runners going for places that we have all already seen and we all know aren't going to help them a whole lot. Neefe will get a little more assistance from here, getting the Earth God's Lyric, which is, like we mentioned before, a nice convenience item. One that we know how to skip, but right now, Mr. Alberto, it's we don't know where the last Master Sword is, but it looks like Jim is slightly ahead, I would say. Right, yes, and the Master Sword could be an Earth.
Yeah, but both players are gonna want to go mode Earth Temple if they can, so checking Overworld beforehand is the better play here.
Yeah, that's kind of the thought process, basically just mentioning that if they find everything they need, most runners would, if they didn't have Earth God's Lyric, would likely skip picking it up if they had everything else they needed to beat the game and only had Earth Temple. So it's not something that people would waste extra time looking for. It's just something.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, if you have it, it's definitely something you want to use because it's nice. It looks like neefe is just going to go into Earth Temple now.
That is what it looks like.
We're going to see what Jim decides to do. Yeah, this is interesting. He's also going to go into Earth Temple.
So we haven't seen Cabana or Angular yet.
Yep.
So the Master Sword could be in any of those checks.
Right. That's a good point. Jim still hasn't done Thorn Fairy. Neefe did do that, so we know that there is nothing there. And that's true. Neefe is skipping a lot more checks.
So yeah, this could be really interesting. If the Master Sword is in Earth Temple, Neefe probably has this one.
Yeah.
Considering he's just moments ahead of where Gymnast is in the temple.
Right.
But if it is in one of those overworld checks, then I think Gymnast has got this. So this race could really go either way.
Yeah, absolutely. It's definitely interesting to see how this play out. It's going to depend a lot on the dungeon execution, and it could be if they take differing routes through the dungeon. That we've seen that happen. Yeah, honestly, it's looking pretty good for Jim here.
So Neefe just got storage.
Ooh.
I don't know if he's attempting to go mode or what.
He might be thinking he wants to just maybe he's betting on that letter from Beto. Sorry.
Maybe.
It could be a pretty bold gamble. Unless he wants to go and just kill Jalhalla, so that way as soon as he finds this in here, he can just leave. That's the only other thing I could think of. Could also be doing the high roll gamble. That was great. crazy.
It's hard to say, Dean.
Yeah, Dean,
We're
at this
so
point,
close.
at this point, it's so close. I'm almost forgetting to commentate because I'm so enthralled by just the how fascinating this. Small key, so we could see Jim do the left side first here. Gymnast says, we don't need one. Who's me? Or medley. There. Yeah, that's kind of what I'm imagining. It seems like neefe is saying, I'll just kill Jahalis, that way as I'm checking everything else, as soon as I find the sword, I can just go straight to him. That would be my guess as to why he's doing it.
Yeah.
He is basically opting to just do Earth Temple Go mode anyway, even if it's not required. And yeah, we see Gymnast going for a fun little trick there where you can leaf and blow yourself up above and cool. Make it cool. Gymnast getting trolled a little bit by the Floor Master there. neefe continuing his push through to the varying levels of this dungeon. The only thing that's going to be really sketchy for neefe is that chest in that third crypt is the Master Sword. That could be really bad for him because it's kind of hard to get back in there unless he wants to store another chest. One thing he could have done, I suppose, was do the attempt the Song Stone skip the first time, void out, make sure he got the item there, and then just go ahead and store that chest and then keep going. That could have been a more safer play.
Yeah, that's true. Awesome, Mr. Link. This is game 2, and neefe could just be taking the risk and hoping for a good game 3, since he is 1-up already.
Yep. And Jim
And there's
finds
the
the
Master
Master
Sword.
Sword. So he is going to say later to all these dudes, and he'll be heading down to face Jahala.
So is this going to be the first set that goes to game 3 of this tournament?
I think this is. I think it is. Yep, here we go. So Jim's going to go through here, and he's just going to blast through all this. Actually, I think he decides he wants to delay because roll clips are annoying. Yeah, so we definitely looking like a game 3 here, barring, of course, any sorts of crazy disaster. That is
True.
Yeah, it looks really good for Jim here, but no, the iron boots are only needed for Wind Temple. And we did not have to go to Wind Temple this time, so we can forget about those stylish features. Yeah, it looks like neefe is planning to gamble that or is in the over, or maybe just in high roll, since he is leaving. Yeah, We'll never know where Iron Boots were. Unless Neefe finds them in like Cabana or something if he checks it.
True.
Dang, Neefe is gonna go for it. He's gonna go. So we're gonna see what the high roll checks are this. That's always fun. And I think Jim just deciding to do it this way because he's probably going to store that chest in the third crypt, so we won't get to see what that was either. And I'm guessing since he had the extra key, just to fine. Yeah, unfortunately, no bottle percent. Oh. Is my mic cutting out there? Sorry about that. I think I scooted a little far away from my mic, and that might have been what happened.
So Neefe heading back up to the overworld.
Yep, looks like he only wanted to check the sword chamber. Well, I guess obviously that's the only place the sword could be, but we'll never know about the vanilla light arrow check. Master Sword is in Earth Temple. We are going to get to see Cabana, though, here, so for those of you that are Cabana fans, here it is.
Yes, Math Girl. Neefe did go mode Earth Temple. Took the gamble here.
Yep, went and was looking like he was really hoping for that Beto's letter or potentially the Master Sword. And unfortunately, as we all knew, it was in Earth Temple. On the left side there. But I am excited to see what was in Cabana. I'm thinking Iron Boots.
Maybe some Hero's Charm.
That would be pretty cool. Because then that would mean Neefe will win.
Could also be another bottle.
That's also true. We may get to see bottle percent just yet, guys. Don't give up. You just gotta believe. If we all believe hard enough. Oh yes, all-purpose bait wouldn't be bad to find. That's usually pretty funny, right?
Yeah, that's a good one.
And Jim is done with Jawhala, about to pick up his last Triforce piece.
Yep, and there's the fourth bottle.
So now
Neefe
we
still
have-
needs to get one.
right, we have
But we
bottle
know.
percent.
We
You
know
know.
where those bottles are.
Right. So we, as viewers, have one. Exactly, Nimbus. See, you got the right idea. That's all we need, you know. We have bottle percent in our hearts. Let's see. We could also looks like he's going to do the windfall check. Will we get the frame perfect Wind Waker pull? Unfortunately not. And there it is. Welcome, Specs. Yeah, it looks like as far as what you missed, well, Jim is pretty much going to finish. So it was a very close race, very good. A lot of different, back and forth, ins and outs. Looked like one runner was maybe ahead. Then maybe the other runner looked like they might have pulled ahead a little bit. So definitely a lot of back and forth.
Neefe just made some gambles that unfortunately didn't pay off, so
Right.
here we are.
And honestly, had they have paid off, this probably still would have been really close.
Mm-hmm.
But unfortunately, since they didn't pay off, it looks like Jim is pretty much has this pretty solidly at this point. I don't foresee Jim having a whole lot of trouble with Puppet Ganon, like somebody like myself might. Yeah, see, this is why gambling is bad. You end up like me with no money.
I don't know. I mean, when you're one race ahead, the gamble kind of doesn't matter too much. He's got another chance.
That's true. He might have felt like the time was getting close to the end, and if Jim hadn't finished yet, then it must be something like a really late Master Sword or something like that. That could have been what he was thinking, and that's why he's like, I'll just go for it. So anybody want to try and guess what time Jim is going to finish with?
Specs, I don't believe so, but it could happen right away.
$154, $48, $156. Oh, what do I want to go with? It's Gymnast, so you got to factor that.
I think the 156 is a good one, but
155.23. That's my guess. That's my. I'll put it in chat. Oh, we're gonna get to see Angular now as well.
maybe
So
Angular has those boots.
Right. So all you Angular lovers, get on the edge of your seats because here we go. Nothing wrong with Angular Island. It's a pretty dope place.
I don't know. I don't like the physics here.
And let's see. There they are. Now we're talking. Now we're talking. Now we got some style. Finish the seed in style. With the coolest shoes this side of the movie. Really good phase 1 from Jim there.
Yep.
Yeah, only not in this seed. Well, now we're on to phase 2. Pup again. What'll it be? What'll it be? The crib shot. Let's see it. Oh, very close. Looks like he's gonna go for a magic refill. And he gets 2. Very nice. Oh, there it is. Wow. That deserves one of these. I kind of felt like that was close enough that that shot would. The hitbox on that, the crystal is. Sometimes it seems a little forgiving, but sometimes it seems like it's only one more shot for Pup again and for Jim. So let's see how this goes for. Oh, and there it is. And of course, it would only take one more shot. Yep, he's not fooling around, is he? So we all might have actually overestimated because he may be finishing much faster than what I thought. I didn't think he'd have a bad puppet cannon, but I mean that was like almost amazing. Looks like Neefe is heading back into Earth Temple now. I think he finished everything in the overworld, right? That was all the checks he had left.
I'm pretty sure he full cleared.
Yeah, so he's heading back. Yeah, Jim is kind of scary to watch. I'm kind of glad I'm out of the tournament this week because if I wasn't super good, he'd make me look like a child. Like if you're gonna race against Jim and you're not like amazing, might as well just put the controller down. I like Nimbus's thinking. That seems fair. Just one more shot on each of the stages. I don't think that's too much to ask. No. That's a little bit of weirdness with Ganon and Zelda there. And here we go. Oh, a little bit of a troll. Hey, my 150. What? Oh, I said 155.23. Dang. And there it is. GG, everyone. GG.
Gymnast finishing with a 154.08.
What a race, guys.
It was a fun one to watch.
And thanks for joining us, Jim. How'd you feel about that seed?
The seed, didn't feel like it did anything too crazy, but felt like my routing was weird during some parts.
Yeah, we had. There's a couple interesting moments where kind of like you guys took slightly paths, but it really ended up bringing you right back together. I think you did Forsaken Fortress first, but Neef had found Nehru's Pearl and went to Tower of the Gods first. Got a lot of cool stuff there, as I'm sure you remember. But then he went right to Forsaken Fortress, and you basically right back out after.
Yeah, it was pretty close for a little while, but Neef made some gambles that didn't pay off.
Yeah, it also looks like he's making another one that's not gonna pay off, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Is that something that do a lot of people just avoid the left side of Earth Temple?
I don't know. I generally go there first if I get 2 keys in the beginning, just because I'm already there. But yeah, no, I guess and it's not that hard. I don't think to go through that side.
I mean, I know that when Woofer played Randomizer, he specifically said that he would never go to the left side unless, like, it was the very last thing he had to do.
Hmm. Yeah, I could see. I suppose like maybe if you have to go and do that, that's a lot. But I mean, the mirrors room is also. I mean, there's a lot to do down there too. Uh, yeah. So, see, anybody in chat have any questions? Or
I did see one not too long ago. Jaywist wants to know why you decided to go to DRC Big Key Chamber after shooting down the platform and having a small key and bombs.
Oh, that's just because I forgot that if I didn't get any small keys, I was going to be able to skip that. I was like, I need to do this anyway, but that turned out to not be true. I was like, oh yeah, never mind.
There's so many strats; it's really hard.
Well, yeah, and I also haven't, aside from this match and our previous one, I haven't played in like a month, so.
It really, honestly, didn't look like. You were kind of tearing it up there. Puppet Ganon looked like it went really, really well.
Currently, it looks like Neef is just missing the last Master Sword upgrade.
Yes.
Which is on the left side of Earth Temple, behind the 3 small elephant statues.
Yeah. We were all, what he ended up doing was he looked like he wanted to gamble on the Master Sword because he just go moded Earth Temple and went down there. And then that was pretty much, he finished Jahala right around, was finishing it right around the time you found the.
Oh, okay. I see.
Yep. And then he went, when it wasn't in the Master Sword Chamber, he kind of went around, checked some of the overworld checks, because he actually had a lot of overworld checks left before going into Earth Temple. Like, he didn't do any of the mail checks on Windfall yet. So he went and did those really quick, and also I believe he checked Cabana and Angular. So basically finished off the overworld. So the next question I was kind of wondering, if you wouldn't have gotten the fire and ice there, would you have pretty much would you have went right into DRC after Paul Print? Or did that influence that a lot for
I mean, not really. Like, because I had bombs, it would have worked out fine, like shooting down the platform, which you just need regular bow for.
Right.
And, like, I'd still be able to go through the top and back because I had bombs, because you need either bombs or fire arrows to go back through there.
Right. Yeah, so that just basically made you think, because it looked like, I think right after that you went and checked like the Ice Ring Island, and so that just kind of took you more in that direction. It seemed. And yeah, it looks like Joshua in chat is a little upset that you didn't find the last box.
Oh yeah, darn. I can't believe I didn't complete bottle percent.
Now I'm wondering where the last one. It was in Cabana, wasn't it? Right. That's where Neef
Yes.
found it.
That's where Neefe's last bottle was.
None of the fun items this time. No hero's charm.
Or double magic.
Yeah.
I did find 2 Tingle statues though.
Yes.
I think I've seen with these settings. I've seen. I only saw that one time, and I watch a lot of races. And we've all that everybody's been doing here. I don't know if anybody. I don't know if you guys have heard of it or seen any. That would be pretty cool. Just for like the meme.
Tuva, who is going to be facing Linkus tomorrow, wants to know what your advice on beating Linkus is.
I mean, I don't usually go in with a specific strategy when facing Linkus. Like, I just play randomizer how I normally would. I mean, the biggest advantage that I have is just being gymnast, because Linkus gets nervous when he faces randomizer against me.
Another strat that seems like it could be pretty good to work is hope that the grapple hook is in diamond step.
And yeah, if you go to diamond step right away, that would be pretty good.
Although that is pretty good advice. Just be gymnast. That would work for, I think, a lot of the races in this tournament on it.
Are there any other...
Tuba says, I'm writing all this.
Are there any other questions from chat for Gymnast here?
Did you like getting the Tingle Rupee? Was that kind
of... Oh yeah, I always love getting the Rainbow Rupee.
Yeah, that's a cool one. And then I was kind of thinking, you got it early enough after the wallet upgrade is kind of, oh, well, at least we don't have to worry about money now.
Yeah.
So people are wanting to know if you're hyped for Game 3 and when do you think Game 3 will be?
Not now, but if Neefe's free on like Thursday, I guess we could probably do it then.
Also, Penchy wondering if you hydrated well during.
Yes, I did.
That's good. Hydration.
Always got to make sure I hydrate.
Hydration is key. Definitely. That's why they have that stay hydrated bot, right? To make sure everybody stays hydrated.
Yeah, Neefe's finally going left.
Knowles wants to know what version of Wind Waker you suggest.
I mean, that depends on what version you want to learn. Like, you know, if you want to learn randomizer, play randomizer. If you want to learn the GameCube version, play the GameCube version. If you want to learn the Wii U version, play the Wii U version. I wouldn't say that there's like a best version for starting out on because, well, I mean, I guess if you want to be more casual, you can do randomizer because the 2 vanilla games are pretty difficult when it comes to speedrunning just because they start off with the manual Super Swim.
Yeah, there's a lot of quality of life improvements that the randomizer adds that are really nice. Not as and the other thing too, I suppose, if you're wanting to, like you said, speed run the vanilla game, randomizer wouldn't be that as useful for you because there are some tweaks and things that make it different and it plays a little different other than just the randomizer aspect of it, like the the roll speeds and things like that. Little things. Jay Foster wants to know what your favorite rando strat is.
Skipping all the cutscenes. That is my favorite randomizer strategy. I guess in all honesty, though, I guess it's not specific to randomizer, but whenever we get to go mode Earth Temple, I like just using chest storage to go through there. It's a pretty fun time.
Yeah, actually, Pogi in chat just asked, what's your favorite go mode? 2 answers in one, it sounds like. Unless you have something you prefer, the whole go mode.
No, Earth Temple is probably the best.
It is a lot of fun. There's a lot of cool stuff you can do. And now it looks like we're going to head back to Hyrule for neefe there. To answer 0x4C, your question, go mode is basically where you find all the items you need in the game. You just have to finish the dungeon boss. So you just rush through the dungeon as fast as you possibly can and defeat the boss. That's a pretty brief explanation.
So earlier Tuba asked why you use storage from Cliff Plateau to go to Bird's Peak rather than Thorned and using the grapple hook on Bird's Peak.
Oh, yeah, I guess that's a viable strategy. I didn't think about that at the time because it makes sense if you realize you get the grapple hook, then use the storage instead on Thorn Ferry, but that didn't occur to me at the time.
Gotcha. We noticed too. Now I'm not sure if this is something you like to do. Seemed like you did Bomb Island really early. Is you like to do like to get it out? Like to hold off on it and not do it because it kind of sucks.
I mean, yeah, it didn't have anything useful this time, so
Gotcha.
it was a wasted gamble. But
yeah, that's unfortunate. It's always unfortunate to go to one of those. I should probably check it just in case, and then it still ends up being nothing. It's kind of like, oh, great, thanks, game.
yeah, it's like you have to decide whether you want to risk it or not. I usually choose not to risk things like that. Like, if I'm in a position where I can get to some check in a reasonable amount of time, then I'll just go do it.
Yeah, that makes sense. It's kind of like if you're in the area, no sense in having to come back here later. Say, we got any other questions or anything? Do you have any other things going, Jim? Any other games anything new or interesting going on?
And like anything.
For your channel.
Oh, I mean, I'm currently playing. Or I'm usually speedrunning The Legend of Zelda: Ocarina of Time 3D when I'm not playing randomizer matches. Recently got a New All Dungeons record the other day.
Oh, nice! Congratulations. Now we're going to see Neefe hop into Puppet Cannon here and get to do the funnest part of the run. I think everyone will agree with that. Tuba Man wants to know, Jim, when you'll beat Linkus's HD 100% record.
Whenever he beats my HD glitchless record.
I gotta say, I do like the 100% category for HD. It's a lot of fun to watch. And phase 1 is done.
H. Haroon wants to know if you think you're going to end up with a win in this set, Gymnast.
I mean, as long as my routing in the next match isn't terrible, I think it's fairly likely that I can win the set. But if I make really poor routing decisions in the next race, then I might not win. So we'll just have to see.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting because it seemed like Neefe wanted to go for some more riskier plays here, especially at the end. Obviously, we haven't got to interview him yet, but we're wondering if his thought process was more like around that hour and a half mark that, man, if Jim hasn't finished yet, this seed must be really, must have something in Hyrule. And so that's why he went for that. But we won't know for sure, I suppose, about that until him. Is there any particular item placements that you find to be particularly annoying, other than, like maybe the obvious ones like a vanilla light arrow or something?
Whenever it takes a really long time to get the leaf, I usually kind of roll my eyes because the leaf is very useful and can be used to speed up a lot of different areas. Yeah. It's like I was kind of rolling my eyes at how long it took me to find the leaf in this seed in particular, because I didn't find it until I went into Tower of the Gods.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that is pretty unfortunate. I know I've seen before, one of the ones, I think it was a tournament race, I'm not sure though, it might have just been one I was watching, but somebody had the leaf end up being in the first chest in Wind Temple, which is also that's pretty bad.
Yeah.
Or yeah, Mongol brings up one too in chat, the bomb in the check in 4. That's another rough one.
Oh, the hopping across the 2 aisles, yeah.
Yeah.
Or the 2 torches.
Right. Gaming Lime is curious, Jim. Do you think Skyward Sword runners will discover any new speedrunning tricks?
I don't know. I can't predict the future. I mean, there are probably certain things that have a possibility of being discovered, but as of right now, I don't know how you would go about figuring them out.
Gotcha. And then he says, if so, are you going to try and get world record again?
If I feel like coming back to the game, yeah. But right now, I think I'm done with it for the time being.
Gotcha. I know, I'm sure most of us watched the GDQ. I didn't know much about Skyward going into it. Was pretty cool. There was a lot of cool things there. Is it difficult to remember all those back in time flags, or do you just keep notes?
Well, no, because it's like anything else in speedrunning. Do it enough times and you'll remember what you need to do.
Gotcha.
Unless you get extremely unfocused and start doing the wrong thing back in time. which can happen occasionally because obviously like every single back in time starts the same, but it's usually not an issue as long as you're focused enough on what you need to do.
Gotcha. P-Man wants to know what comes after all dungeons, and are you satisfied with your current time?
I mean, I want to do the MST category for Ocarina of Time 3D, but there isn't. There currently is not like a finalized route that the community has made for the category because there are still a bunch of really awkward things that we need to try and fix about it. So I want to do that, but I don't know when that's going to start.
All
Hopefully
right,
soon,
and
though.
Neefe is here to join us now. Hello, Neefe.
Hello.
Hello.
GG's, Neef.
GG's on the run in the
Yeah.
race.
So you made some pretty big gambles with Earth Temple there.
I kind of did. Didn't really work out.
Yeah. So what was your thought process behind that?
Well, I mean, I was one game ahead, so I thought I've got some leeway. I can try to do a big gamble, try to win it 2-0. Maybe I can pull it off. Master Sword in Hyrule. It would have been hype. Didn't work.
Yeah. I definitely understand the thought.
Yeah, like, you know, it's like, oh yeah, like if I lose this game, there's still another chance to come back if it doesn't work out, so let's have some fun.
Yeah, exactly. I thought, you know, if it doesn't work out, I've got another game still, but if it does work out, it'd be a good run.
Right, it would be a big time hype train moment. With a restream going on, it'd be pretty. The chat would have probably popped off, I'm imagining.
Big hype train, yeah.
I guess at that time, did Jim already have the Master Sword when I was checking Hyrule?
Yes, he got the Master Sword around the time that you had finished Jalhalla.
Yeah, because I just immediately went to the left when starting Earth Temple, so.
Yeah, I thought about doing the left side and getting chest storage there, and then doing Jalhalla, but I decided just to go right away, and that was not the right choice.
Yeah, we were all kind of like going, oh my goodness, this is crazy. So that's where, because none of us knew where the Master Sword was either. So we're like, if that's what the Master Sword is, this is going to be nuts. We're all going to, it was super intense.
Yeah. And then I decided, well, Jim's probably going to check all of Earth, so I'll do all the overworld first. And then that led to nothing, which was also nice.
You got all 4 bottles, though. You got the
Yes.
bottle percent.
Bottle percent tonight.
I mean, yeah, that's like usually like something that you have to decide, like, because eventually I came out to a position where there were like, you know, 8 overworld checks that I had, or versus 16 checks in Earth Temple, and I needed to find 1 Master Sword upgrade, and I was like, well, you know, you have to choose, like, you know, do you want to try to do Overworld or go to Earth Temple? And, like, I chose to do, like, a few short Overworld checks, or just ones that happened to, you know, be on the way to getting into Earth Temple. So that's what I did, and then I went to Earth Temple.
Yeah, I kind of chose to do all of the overworld before checking all of Earth, just because it was the wrong choice. Like, I felt like that's the only way I'd be able to catch up.
And Neef Tuba wants to know about your thought process on doing Tower of the Gods for Forsaken Fortress, and was curious about why you didn't do Super.
Like the chest storage Super Swim to Forsaken Fortress?
Yes, correct.
I just haven't practiced that, so I'm not comfortable just doing it on the fly. So I just do Forsaken Fortress normally. And I didn't go because I didn't have the leaf or the hook shot, and I didn't want to try to like maneuver around chests if I wanted to check everything. I wanted to be able to do it all at one time.
That makes sense.
All right, so are there any last questions from chat for either of our runners?
Well, with that, I would just like to add my congratulations, Gymnast. GG neefe. Be a hell of a game 3 coming up here, hopefully in the next few days. Want to be a big shout out to our tracker today, iBot02. I think Comms would agree. God knows we couldn't do this shit without the trackers, so they are the heroes of the stream.
Absolutely.
As well as a big shout out to our two wonderful commentators today, Melone and Original Elijah. And of course, please give our two runners a follow, neefe and Gymnast. Just want to quick heads up, coming up here on ZSR in about 20 minutes, we have our Zelda 2 randomizer weekly race. So stick around if you're interested in that at all. And tomorrow on ZSR, we have this guy you might have heard of before, Linkus. I don't know. I don't know. He's done something, but he'll be his randomizer race with two men. Will be here on ZSR about 4 o'clock Eastern, and then at 6 o'clock Eastern, I believe on ZSR 2, we'll have a tourney match for the Ocarina of Time randomizer season 3 between Just Sam and Sea Falcon. So plenty of action here on ZSR the next couple days. Any final thoughts before we head on out of here?
Just thanks to everybody who was. Thanks to Jim and neefe for a great race, and thank you to our restreamers as well. You guys are awesome.
All right, so with that, thank you very much, everybody, and have a good night.